promise, time, and waiting. My dear friends, if you want to live in the promise of God, it's important that you wait upon it. And time is our problem. We don't know how to wait. We want immediate answers. So sometimes this waiting make us shrink, completely curtail our vision. It's important that we come out of the tent, our barrier, our limitation. That's exactly what happened in Abraham's life. God gave him a promise. After this, the word of Yahweh had spoken to Abraham in vision. Do not be afraid, Abraham. I'm your shield. Your reward will be very great. This is the promise of God. This is the word came as a promise. And then what happened? Abraham said, my Lord Yahweh, where are your promises? I'm still childless, and all I have will go to Eliezer of Damascus. You have given me no children, so a slave of mine will be my heir. So this is a normal rule. If the owner does not have a child, a slave would get everything. He will become the heir of all the property. So seemingly there is no promise. There's nothing to wait upon. So that's why Abraham wants something tangible. The move of God is amazing. See, then the word of Yahweh had spoken to him again. Eliezer will not be your heir, but a child born of your own flesh and blood will be your heir. Then Yahweh brought him outside and said to him, look up at the sky and count the stars if you can. Your descendants will be like that. My dear friends, it's important that for us, if we are stuck in a well, if we are stuck in our limitation, it's stuck in our own imagination, if we are stuck in our own thought, it's important that you come out of the tent to look into the sky, not the rexing of the tent. Sometimes the sky is covered with my vision, my limitation, my thought, my planning, my impatience. It's important to come out of that tent and look into the sky. And he sees the numerous stars. And the beauty of this person, Abraham, that word says, he believed it. Then Yahweh and Abraham believed Yahweh, who because of this held him to be an upright man. He became a righteous person because he believed the word. Not because he's strong, no. He simply held on to the word. So we are a generation, we are a people who live in a hope. Hope which based on a promise of God. But then we are so limited, sometimes the time factor is the problem, that we cannot own it. That's where when the Lord asked Abraham to make a covenant, then Abraham asked, my Lord, how am I to know that it shall be mine? Yahweh replied, bring me 3-year-old. And he asked Abraham to bring animal and cut them into two and laid them each half facing its other half. So the animals were cut into two pieces and they were kept either side. This is a normal way of a treaty, a covenant. How that time people made a covenant, and after cutting the animal open into two pieces, the two parties would walk in between the animals, saying that if someone breaks the law, the plight would be this, death. It is covenant with blood. So God made a covenant with Abraham. So that's how he proved the promise. And my dear friends, it's so loving step, isn't it? And God said, if I break it, my blood would be shed. But then problem, after after opening the animals, cut open the animals, what happens? Immediately, the birds of prey, the vultures came down upon them, but Abraham drew them away as the sun was going down. The deep sleep came over Abraham, and dreadful darkness took hold of him. When the sun had set, darkness had fallen. A smoke firepot and flaming touch passed between the halves of the victims. This is how God depicted himself, going in between those animals, victims, saying that I have made the covenant. But then it happened after a time, after darkness, after fear, when Abraham was fast asleep. He takes his own time, my dear friends. But then the problem is, in between, the vultures would come to grab the hearts of the animal, the flesh of the animal. It attracts the vultures. That's why Jesus is saying today, beware of the false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inside there is a ferocious wolves. So that's exactly why God will take his own time to fulfill the promise of his word. But then immediately false prophet would come and give you a prosperity gospel. They would be really attractive. They come in, their wolves come in sheep clothing. You will see a beautiful, attractive thing. Remember, God's ways are not easy. God will take his own time. Look at Abraham, the fear, darkness, dreadful. It's a terrible experience. God took him through that desert for him to take to the promised land. Time is a factor that you have to wait upon him, my dear friends. You have to realize this. See, good tree always you will recognize them by their fruits. Do you ever pick grapes from thorny bushes or figs from thistles? So you will realize the danger later. They're momentary, isn't it? The good fruit bear the good tree will always bear good fruit. My dear friends, Eve was given a forbidden fruit. And that's what happened. So they bear fruit. You will realize later the danger that they are coming with. You will realize the wolf later. Immediately you will experience a sweet sheep. Inside they have the fruit, wolves. So when they bear fruit, from their fruits you will understand them. The fruits, if you bear the fruits of the Holy Spirit, that's exactly how you realize the tree, what kind of tree it is. Eve, he ate from the forbidden tree, and the fruit of the cross is Jesus, and that is Eucharist, my dear friends. So that is the greatest tree that gave us the best fruit of Jesus, and that is Eucharist. So it's an invitation. The covenant was made with the blood of Christ, not blood of animals. Christ, since we broke the covenant, God gave his own son as a ransom for our unfaithfulness, and he became that fruit where we will have life with that. Experience that love of God, promise of God. Wait upon him. Don't take actions in haste. Wait. He will definitely fulfill his promise in your life. Think about it. Have a nice day. May God bless you.